There we go.
There you are.
High five. I got a dork again. Welcome, everyone. And you guys can see us too, right?
Yes.
Thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight. And for those who came willingly, you are at tonight's Project Find Your workshop on 10 simple actions for quick results.
Right. So what this is all about essentially is that we're all about growth and personal fulfillment and getting the most out of life. And it all starts with mindset, right? You have to have the correct mindset, the correct emotional state to dictate your actions. Emotion drives motion. We know that. But getting into the correct mindset is difficult for a lot of people. If you say you got to change your mindset, most people think, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to do. Where am I going? How do I do that? So what we've come up with is 10 simple things that you should be doing every day anyway. But if you do these consistently, cognitively now, you're going to start a mindset shift that is going to give you the instant results, and that first burst, that first step towards your goal and towards fulfillment, that's always the hardest one. And these simple things are going to give them to you quicker than trying to figure out what to do with your mindset.
So before we get started, like every time we hold these beautiful workshops with these beautiful people, we want you to have the tools. And part of that is getting the download off of the website. If you haven't done that to follow along, you can do that after the event and get that. And that's yours for free as your tool. The other thing is, if you're just joining us for the first time, we do host these every month, sometimes even more than once a month. So make sure that you connect with us so you can get these events every time we host them.
Different topic every month. You never know what we're going to hit on. Sometimes we don't even know what we're going to hit on until we get close.
That's true. So a couple things that I'd like to start off with is a little bit of reminder, like Kelly said, when we talk about mindset and some of these simple things, and if you've gotten the handout, you may think that this is very obvious, like, well, you already know this. But what we're talking about here is setting yourself up for success, creating the habits of the things that are simple with intention. So when you have these little itty bitty things that you're going to do that we're going to talk about, and you know that you're doing them and you're doing them with intention, then you start to build, again, this muscle. We always talk about this emotional muscle, not just our physical muscles, but our emotional and our spiritual muscles. And that's what we're going to work on, some of those emotional, and creating these simple steps, doing them with intention and doing them often, create that muscle.
All right, so without any further ado, let's just get right into these 10 simple things that you can do. Number one, change your physiology. And most of us know how this works. You've heard us talk about this before. It's all about emotional state. The fastest way to change your emotional state is to change your physiology. You know, if you think of somebody who is sad, think about how they're standing, how they're breathing, how they're holding themselves. Think of a superhero, and then think of how they're holding themselves. And it's all about that warrior pose, the superhero pose. You know, shoulders back, chest out, stand up straight and tall and proud, breathe deep. Just doing that for 2 minutes can change your mindset into certainty and to get you going to where you're supposed to be. The chemicals that are supposed to be rising are rising, and the ones that are supposed to be subdued are subdued. And so this is the change that happens, and it's so simple to do.
It's very simple. You do hear us talk about it, but now it's a practice of being intentional, right? So it becomes easier the more you practice, and you have to practice it like everything else. But it does, like Kelly said, it's a physical change that you're intentionally doing, but it actually creates chemicals in your body that help support all the things. Simple things like smiling is a change in your physiology. Standing up is another one. If you're working at home and you sit in a desk, please recognize the difference between sitting and doing your work and how that's affecting your mood, and just standing, like Kelly said, shoulders back. Breathe from different places. So it's simple things. You hear us talk about it a lot, but it is a game changer.
Absolutely. Number two, Be on time.
I feel like I should say this one. I feel like I should say this
You
one.
think you should be teaching them about being on time?
I think I should say number 2 is be on time. And everyone needs to practice. And sometimes I have to practice this one.
Continuously being late for something has never been a character trait that is admired. I mean, people do it, but it's not something that we look up to people for. Being on time is about expecting more of yourself. It's about making a commitment to whatever you're going to do. When your alarm clock goes off, get up. When you have to be ready to leave 15 minutes earlier. Get to work 15 minutes earlier. Treat yourself the same way as you would be treating yourself if you're going on a flight. If your flight leaves at 9 o'clock, you can't show up at the airport at 9 o'clock and expect to get on the airplane. You have to be there plenty of early. And yes, there's a little bit of waiting around, but that waiting around is actually working chemicals inside your brain, and it's creating a state of certainty again. So as you sit and wait, you're starting to feel certain about your surroundings, about who you are, about where you're at, what you're doing, and where you're going. The same is true in our day-to-day life. Think about it. When you get up early, you get yourself ready to go in the bathroom, you eat your breakfast, you find yourself already...
Wait, you're not eating breakfast in the bathroom, right?
Some people might.
Okay.
So if you find yourself ready to leave for work 15 minutes before you're supposed to leave for work, you start to feel comfortable and confident about what's going on. Now think about the last time you woke up late and you had to rush through, skip breakfast, had to brush your hair in the car on the way, you're 15 minutes late for work. And for the rest of the day, you always feel like you're running behind and you're rushing to catch up. Even though you might be caught up, you've lost that certainty and you've lost that state of confidence.
Yeah, and being on time allows you to bring forth with intention the best version of yourself to the event, to your appointment. It brings your presence, so you can be present at that moment, right? Whether you're going someplace, to work, to pick somebody up, to church, wherever you're going, being on time is very important. But I will say, and this is one of the 10 that is probably, if we had to put these in number order of the ones you're good at and the ones you're not good at, this would probably be the one that's bottom of my list. No excuses. But what we also are going to talk about is understanding that we're not going for perfect in our life. We're going for constant improvement. Every day being better version of yourself, being better in your, whatever it is that you're working on, better than the day before. So just know that.
That's a great point, and I want to reiterate that. We're never striving for perfection, because if you do, you're never going to attain to it. Just strive for being better. That's it.
I will be better at being on time.
Absolutely. Number 3.
Under promise and over deliver. And don't get this one mixed up, because sometimes you can get the over under mixed up. You want to under promise and you want to over deliver.
It's all about doing more. This is really one of the first rules of business. You want to set your business apart from everything else and offer more value to your clientele than anybody else can do. So you under promise and you over deliver. You always go that one extra step. Now, if you were the CEO of a business, this business would be your baby, and you would nurture it and love it and care for it and make sure that it's growing as you move forward. Just as you're a CEO for your business, you also have to be a CEO for yourself. This is your baby, your mind and your body and your spirit. You have to love that and nurture that and care for that and go the extra step so that it's growing, not to perfection again, but just growing, small increments, baby steps, right? This is what changes the feed me mentality to a feed myself mentality. Think of all the great people in the world, whether it's athletes or business or politicians or whatever it is. They became great by doing just that little extra bit. When practice is done, they're not in showering with everybody else. They're taking a few more shots. They're running a couple more laps. They're studying the books just a little bit more. And you don't have to kill yourself at it. It's just a little bit more.
Absolutely. Number 4, be kind. This is something that never gets old, never wears out. This is something that can be taught. This is something that can be taught not with words, but with actions. This is critical. So this is one of the most important ones.
This is actually the easiest one to do, but so rare to see anymore. And it's simple things. It's smiling at a stranger. It's holding the door open for somebody. It always creates a butterfly effect because that person is more likely to smile to the next person and to the next person. And just the way we are kind to other people, we need to remember to be kind to ourselves. We can get caught up in being our own worst enemy, and we often talk to ourselves the way we hope nobody ever talks to us, right? We want to hear love and care and compassion, but that's not how we always talk to ourselves. In one of our past workshops, if you joined us, it was all about that self-talk.
Yep.
So what happens is that ego, our primitive brains, its job is to protect us. It's always looking out for danger. But we can also protect ourselves from the heart through kindness and protecting and nurturing and showing love to ourselves in that way. So get out of your head, get into your heart. You can still protect yourself just as much from here.
Number 5, keep your energy high.
And in this one, I'm not talking about going 8,000 miles an hour all through your day, although maybe that's your gig and that's what you want to do. But it's all about your frequency energy. I mean, we've talked about the frequencies before too. A high energy, a high frequency is going to be your positive, optimistic kind of a person, the person who is looking for answers and not excuses. Your low energy people are going to be those people who are always on the downside and the pessimists, and they're always looking for that route to Failureville, and they're always going to take it. Keep your energy high. Always look for the answers of things. And I want to remind you of the 3 laws of frequency. Number 1, like energies attract. A high frequency people will attract other high frequency people. And who doesn't want to be surrounded with greatness? Low frequency people will then be attracted to other low frequency people and not necessarily the best situation. The second law is that opposite energies will repel each other. If you're a high frequency person, you can actually be pushing away those low frequency people from your life. The opposite is also true. If you're a low frequency person, you can actually be pushing away some of those high frequency people from your life. And the third law of frequency is that frequencies suck, literally. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and you think, something just doesn't seem right, something's off? That's the low energies around you trying to suck your high frequency down. Don't ignore those. Always be aware of your frequency and keep your frequency high.
Those frequency monsters are out there. Number 6, stay positive.
Positivity is amazing because a study done by Stanford University showed that people in a positive state of mind are 32% more efficient in their brain, which means they are 32% more likely to come up with a good decision. They're 32% more creative, 32% more effective and efficient. So being in a positive state of mind just literally makes you smarter and more creative. But there's a catch with being positive in that people who are positive sometimes get caught up in ignoring some of those things in their life that they really need to deal with. They want to see the positive, which is true, but the negative is there and we need to deal with it. So when I say stay positive, what I'm really saying is stay realistic. Always look for the answers, always look for the good stuff, but we have to deal with those monsters that are coming in, and we have to take care of those before we can fully move on forward. So keep yourself in a positive state of mind, and there are 4 ways to help you stay positive. First,
don't react.
Change your physiology.
Use the correct language
to yourself and focus on the positive. All right, number 7.
Be coachable.
Really what this comes down to is be open to learning new things. Coaches, one of my favorite quotes comes from Vince Lombardi. And it's coaches will tell you things you don't want to hear and make you do things that you don't want to do so that you can become the person you never thought you'd become. And I love that quote because it's so true. We have to be held accountable, but we can only be held accountable like that and grow like that if we're open to learning new things, to bringing in that knowledge and creating wisdom from that knowledge.
Yeah, and some of the biggest growth years when you think past is when you think of children and their school years. And one of the things that makes them grow is their ability to be open to change and open to learning. So you want to be just like a child. You want to be open to learning and open to growth and open to change.
You got it.
Number 8, have a great work ethic.
A fantastic great work ethic.
An amazing, outstanding.
So think about those people in the workplace. If you were to say that somebody has a great work ethic, what attributes would this person be? They would be timely, a hard worker. Feel free to chip in.
Yes. Yes. You were, I'm sorry. Yes.
Efficient and helpful and all of these things.
They would be a problem solver. So there, a lot of times you don't think of those leaders as coachable or those people with great work ethics, but they're solving problems, right? They're looking for opportunity. They're helpful. That's kind of that being kind. They're helpful. Good. Just sharing, thinking about other people besides yourself is a great work ethic. But that hard working, that just putting it out there, like Kelly said, even from your heart, if you lead from your heart and give, it's amazing how that really shows up as a good work ethic. It's not just the strength and the brute that makes good work ethic. It's really the results of what you put into it.
So most people are good workers, and when they go to work, they have a great work ethic. The problem is that when they go home, they lose that work ethic. What would happen if you approached every aspect of your life with the same sort of work ethic that you take into the conference room or the board meeting or the job site? What if you had approached your relationships and your health and your wellness with the same kind of work ethic that you attacked that problem for that client that absolutely needs solved? Well, you're that client on yourself too. So bring that same work ethic to yourself and to your family and your loved ones around you.
Yeah. So be honest, be on time, give it the focus and the attention, and solve the problems with positivity, high energy, and kindness.
You got it. Number 9.
Be prepared.
So I was a Boy Scout, and so this is one of our mottos, be prepared. And it's such a great motto to live by because it can be the difference between life and death in a lot of ways. But being prepared in your day-to-day life doesn't mean, be prepared for a grizzly bear or to be stranded on an island. It means be prepared for obstacles that are going to be showing up in front of you. That doesn't mean to prepare for failure. That means to prepare for the unforeseen that could possibly happen. Always expect something, the roadblock. Expect those roadblocks.
So a lot of the sessions that we do really have this undertone of being prepared, right? It's to help you, it's to encourage you and inspire you, right? And build you, but it's really being prepared. We're giving you the tools to build that emotional strength, to build that spiritual strength, to build that emotional strength so you can go about your day. So being prepared is just using the tools that you have, building up the strength and having tools in your tool belt so that when an obstacle or roadblock or an opportunity comes, you can now go through it.
Number 10, live with passion. And when we talk about living with passion, we're talking about living with the excitement and energy and charisma and think about those things in your life that make you feel like that, whether it's playing golf or doing art or just sitting in nature. It's that kind of passion that you can carry throughout your entire day. If you move yourself from a have to a get to state of mind, that passion and that excitement is going to start to build in you. And if you can do that, you're going to create more of those connections, pushing you towards mindset.
Living with passion is what makes life fun and exciting. It's what makes getting out of bed and doing you, whatever it is that is you, doing that with a sense of passion it's beautiful. And everyone's journey is their own. So live your life with passion, not someone else's.
You got it. All right, so let's review really quick the 10 things that you can do right now to help you change your mindset and give you immediate results.
Dun, 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 dun.
Number 1, change your physiology.
2, be on time.
Number 3, overpromise, underpromise, and overdeliver to yourself.
Yes. 4, be kind.
Number 5, keep your energy high.
And
Number 6,
stay positive.
Number 7, be coachable.
Number 8, have a great, outstanding, awesome work ethic, and not just in the work, but in the home.
Number 9, be prepared. Those obstacles will show up. Be ready for them.
Be prepared like a Boy Scout.
Yep.
And number 10, live with passion.
There you have it. There are the 10. We breezed through them really pretty quickly, so we could really do a workshop on every one of those. And we want to thank you for.
We want to thank you. I was breathing, and he was pausing for me to breathe. I was also just going to add one other thing is what's key to this when we talked about is building the muscle is doing it with intention, right? Not just put this in your mind, not just have it on the paper, but to have that intention. So wake up with the intention of how you're going to live your day and how you're going to really put these 10 practices into place for the day. And it's not the difficulty in executing them. It's the intention of doing them. It's the intention of knowing that you're going to set in motion in front of you to be kind for the day, and that you are putting that in the top forefront of your mind. And then when opportunity comes and then you do it, and then you recognize and celebrate that you've done that. So Kelly had talked about that these are like those little itty bitty goals. So how does these are easy to implement, and the results are not that you do them. The result is when you do them with intention and you do them over and over again, you build this muscle and you feel what success is like. You feel what you start to get a new feeling and vibe. And it actually, all these things will start to change and become habits, right? It'll become a habit to change your physiology and to be on time and to be kind. And then you're just leading in a way that is that new version of you, right? For that day, for that moment. So it's, again, these are the 10 quick things, and they're simple, but do them with intention and passion and from the heart.
You got it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Don't run off just yet, because we want to open it up to questions. If you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. Not everybody at once, of course. Or you can type it into the chat box too, and we can take it from there.
And then we'll have a dance party in between. We'll have a dance party in between. You can have dance parties too.
Do you have a website?
We do, projectfindyourfire.com. And I can actually put that right in here. And like we said, if you found this fun and valuable, we do this every month. Sometimes we throw a few more things in there. So connect with us and we'll get you all the information that you need.
You got it. Are there any other questions?
And we are taking ideas for future workshops.
Yeah, we're always open to whatever you guys want to hear about. All right, if there is nothing else, thank you again for joining us. I know there are a million things you could have been doing tonight, but you chose to be here with us, and we are so grateful for that.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Till next time, live with passion.
Live with purpose.